Well, I hope you're doing well. I hope you are happy that it's Friday and that we're heading into our weekends. I hope you guys have been having a fantastic week and you are ready for the countdown, the final last few days before the end of school. Today will probably be our last fully intense or regular online lesson. Next week, the other teachers and I have decided that we're going to make things a little bit nicer, a little bit easier. We're going to do some more fun lessons. I'm looking online for things like virtual escape rooms and stuff like that will be available to you. So that will be something kind of fun to look forward to. Just kind of a nice way to enjoy the last week of school, especially since we don't get to enjoy the last week of school festivities going on. So hopefully you guys enjoy. And let's jump into our math for today. So we're continuing on with rounding today. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into rounding whole numbers, but for now, we're going to just do our review. So review of these numbers right here, I have 1.23. I look at my last digit, we're rounding to the nearest tenth, so that's this number right here. I look at my first digit, and using this little roller coaster model, do I round up or down? So for a 3, I round down. If I'm rounding down, this becomes a 0. So down becomes a 0, up is plus 1. So this becomes 1.20. There's no point in doing 1.20, so it becomes 1.2 because 1.2 and 1.20 are the same thing. However, there's no point in having that 0 there. It's just a waste of space. All right, so 1.2. Now we have 2.47. So 7, we round up. That means this number here goes up by 1. So this becomes 2. Remember, I get rid of the 7, and this goes up by 1. So this becomes 2.5. And that's it. All right, so now let's do our next part. First of all, round to the nearest tenth. So this is what we were just doing. We're just dealing with some bigger decimals right now. However, again, we don't need to worry because it's the same process. So I have 42.37. 7, I round up. That means this digit right here goes up by 1. So I add 1 to it, and this goes away. So this becomes 42.3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so tenth is the second digit. 17.21, 1 I round down, so this becomes a 0. So now I have 17.20. There's no point having 0.20, so it just becomes 17.2. All right. Now, rounds the whole numbers. So we have 21.56. We want to round to the nearest whole number. So our whole number is right here, whatever is left of the decimal. We have to round this number right here into this number here. How can we do that? We have 2 steps. Or we can just do 1 step. All right, so we have 0.56. What we care about here is this digit right here. This one doesn't matter. We can toss it to the side. We have 21.5. 5, we round up. So what happens is I go to the left of this decimal. This digit here, it goes up by 1. The same thing as last time. So this becomes 20. So we get rid of this 5, and this goes up by 1. So this becomes 22. And you don't have to put a decimal there because it's a whole number. It's invisible. We know it's already there. So you can just put 22, and that's your whole number. All right, so let's try another one very quickly that we have to round up. Let's do 17.5. 9. So if we have a number like this, we're not going to worry about our second digit. We don't need it. This is the one we care about. It's an 8. We round up. That means this digit right here, it goes up by 1. So this becomes 17 plus 1 is 18. And we don't have to put a decimal there. So that's it. That's our final answer. All right. Now we have 86.11. Don't need to worry about this digit. What I care about is this one. 1, I round down. So same rule applies. This becomes a 0. So now I have 86.0. However, if you guys remember, with whole numbers, this 0.0 is usually invisible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and cross it out and just keep 86. There's no point in putting the 0.0. It's not technically wrong. However, it's just not the proper format for the number. So I just keep it as 86 as my full number. Let's try one more. Let's do 19.25. Again, I don't need to worry about this digit. That's irrelevant. I care about this one. 2, I round down. So this becomes a 0. So I have 19.0. I just get rid of this 0.0. I don't need it. And I just keep the 19. Okay? And that's rounding. So you're going to have a sheet today that is continuing to rounds. It's going to ask for tenths, but they're just going to be digits that look like these ones up here. And it's going to ask you to round to the nearest whole number. And that's it. That brings us to the end of decimals. So email me if you guys have any questions whatsoever. Thank you all for the amazing hard work you've been doing. It's been absolutely remarkable, and thank you all for just the amount of commitment and dedication. We're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. We only have a few more days left, which is absolutely crazy. But thank you all, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.